AITAH for giving my wife an ultimatum? I am not the original poster. That is Key Salamander 5906. He posted in r AITAH. Trigger warning. Infidelity. Less than. Mood spoiler. Sad. But Oop has a good head on his shoulders. Less than. Original post. September 17th, 2023. I, 35 meters. Have been married to my wife, 37F, for 7 years, and we were together another 3 before that. We had a daughter, 5F. On the outside our marriage appears to be perfect. She and I own a nice house with a good school district. Have a great kid and both work full-time. Her job requires her to do some travel and wants her in the office 3 days a week. My job does not pay as well, but I work completely remote and spend a lot of time talking my daughter to soccer or doctor's appointments, as well as keeping up around the house. Before anyone asks, this is not a weight gain issue. I am active and fit, and my wife is the same. For the past 4 or so years my wife has shown basically no interest in our marriage and acts more like my roommate than partner. We have basically no romance or intimacy. When I say intimacy, I know some people will jump to sex, but to me intimacy means acting like a couple. Hand-holding, kisses, cuddling, and obviously sex. None of those are really things my wife wants to do, and makes it painfully obvious that she isn't interested. Before she and I were very much an amazing couple. My wife also shows no interest in my life. She has forgotten important events like our anniversary and my birthday. Our last anniversary, she said she needed to cancel the dinner plans I made for the 2 of us, because she had to work late on a Friday and travel for work the following week. I brought this up to my therapist, who suggested couples therapy and is willing to give some recommendations. I brought this up to my wife, who immediately shut it down, saying, "There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need therapy." I have made multiple suggestions to her for how we can possibly improve our relationship. Family vacation? Our daughter won't appreciate it. I don't see what 5-year-old wouldn't want to go to the beach for a couple days, but maybe I'm wrong. A romantic getaway for just her and I? No, I'm too busy at work. Or, can't we just spend time together at home? Quote, taking our daughter on a bike ride and going out to lunch on a weekend? I want to just relax. So I gave up trying to initiate anything with her and recently began looking for an out. I watched my parents in a failing marriage for a decade and don't want to put my child through that. I talked to a lawyer and got papers ready and can buy a condo in town to keep our daughter in the same school district with her friends, since I can't afford our house by myself. I recently confronted my wife when our daughter was at a playdate. I told her that I am seriously considering leaving her, since I feel as though I don't matter to her, and our relationship is never a priority to her. I told her I have an exit plan, and if she doesn't make changes by the new year, I am going to file for divorce and full custody. She and I got into a big fight where she basically told me I was manipulative and an asshole for blindsiding her like that. I told her that none of this would be an issue if she cared about us, or at least pretended to. I told her I don't want our daughter to see how unhealthy our relationship is. All of this happened yesterday. So Reddit AITAH for what I said to my wife in our argument after. Edit. I have brought up my concerns about our marriage to her multiple times. Things usually improve for a short while but are quickly back to the status quo in a week or 2. Relevant comments. Counseling, therapy. I have brought up the idea of therapy and that I didn't feel as though she was there for me at several points during the past couple years. I have tried to get her to at least try 1 session with me, and it is shot down every time. I have told her my feelings several times now, and each time she says she will try harder and maybe does it for a week or 2, then things go back to how they are. Could she be having an affair? It's possible she's having an affair, but she does actually go out with her friends a lot. They usually go out and get dinners once a week. Either that or she's meeting the guy at these restaurants. Personally, I don't believe that, since I have friends in the area too and someone might see her. This exchange. Commenter. It's one of three things. She's fallen out of love but is sticking around for your kid, financial reasons. 2. She's defined herself as asexual and has no requirements for intimacy. Or 3. She's been using her nights out with the girls as cover for having an affair, hence the complete lack of care, intimacy, as she's getting it elsewhere. I guess all three of those are possible. The first would make sense because she makes way more than I do. The second one is probably what I'm hoping for. It would be the least painful. The third one is probably my worst case, and I really don't want it to be what is happening. I've spent 10 years with her, and having it thrown away like that is the most depressing thing I can imagine. Clarifies what he does in the marriage. Bills are paid from our joint bank account. Each of us also contributes money to a personal account that we would use for individual expenses, such as a night out. Chores are me doing the majority during the week. I can usually get away from work long enough to vacuum, do laundry and basic stuff like that during the day. Bigger chores like car maintenance and lawn care are usually my or our weekend projects. Is she a bad mother? Why full custody? No, she is not a horrible mother. That part was definitely an overreaction on my part that I should not have said. After reading many of the comments that day, after reading a lot of the replies and some helpful links someone posted that outline an abusive relationship, I will be speaking to the lawyer first thing tomorrow. I think it's time I did something for myself and my daughter. There is no consensus bot on AITAH, but a majority seem to be NTA. Update post. September 30th, 2023. 13 days later. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for all of your replies and messages. I received a ton and haven't been able to reply to them all. It has been a crazy couple of weeks, unfortunately. My marriage is over, and after talking to my wife I realize it has been for a long time. The day after my post, I began the divorce process with my lawyer. Everyone who said I was an asshole for saying I was going to get full custody. That is true. I was angry, frustrated, and said something I shouldn't have. We are going to split custody, with me having the weekdays and my wife having weekends. That said, everyone who said she was cheating, congratulations, you were right. She has been for around 4 years now, which is about the time she started withdrawing from our marriage. She has been cheating with this coworker because she felt like she was not attractive after having a child, and I was busy with work and childcare. More recently, she has begun to develop feelings for him and was considering leaving me for him, which she is now free to do. When I gave her the ultimatum, she was surprised that I was considering leaving her and thought I knew about her affair at the time. We sat our daughter down and explained that we are splitting up, but we both love her more than anything. My daughter was understandably upset and is having a tough time. I am half looking into therapy options for my daughter and told her that she can always tell me how she is feeling. This is the hardest part of everything so far. My wife and I are going to be geographically close. I'm going to be moving into a condo in early January, and my wife is going to move in with her coworker about 15 minutes away. With the sale of our house, I will be able to pay off a large portion of my new home. According to the lawyer, we can have everything wrapped up by New Year's if it goes smoothly, but with the holidays I'll be happy with early January. The meantime I'm going to start rebuilding my life. I did not get married with the intention of getting divorced, but here we are. I am going to work on myself and my relationship with my daughter. Starting with a vacation. I am going to surprise her with a trip to Disney this winter. It will be expensive, but I really want to make her happy and create some happy memories. I'm going to miss her on weekends. Maybe one day I'll explain this all to her when she is an appropriate age and we can talk about it more. In the meantime, I am going to work on myself and try to be the best version of me that I can. I don't know what the future holds, but I guess I'll know eventually. Relevant comments. Make sure to put you and your daughter first here. You don't owe your ex anything. Yeah, she and I have talked about basically making sure shared bills are paid. All other communication is through our lawyers. All of her issues are on her now and not my problem. Did she admit to the affair or did you find out? I found some credit card statements that did not make sense. So I confronted her. According to her. And she's a liar, so who knows? The feelings developed a couple years ago and she was not sure how to address it. I personally don't care what she feels at this point. About daughter having to spend time with the ex's new man and possibly putting a no overnight guests clause in the divorce. At least for a while. A clause around this is definitely worth looking into. I want my daughter to have as stable of an environment as possible. I will be speaking with my lawyer again on Monday. Thank you for this information. Oop also posted on a different sub after this, but with no new information. That sub also often does not allow cross-posting, so I did not include it. I have cheated on you for 4 years and repeatedly ignored or actively rejected your requests for improving our relationship. But how dare you blindside me with notions of divorce? Quote, the audacity of cheaters and relationship neglectors will never cease to amaze me. That's rough. Hope he's doing okay. Oop should at least have 1 weekend a month. He will already be dealing with school and majority of logistics if he has her weekdays. He needs to balance it with some fun daughter time together, too. I wish Oop realizes that he needs to prioritize himself and his daughter after this debacle and realize that he doesn't have to do anything for his wife. She doesn't deserve an ounce of respect after what she did to both of you. That poor daughter. She deserves better than a mom like that. I'm confused how there might be no overnight guests when mom is moving straight in with a fair partner. I wonder how long she will play family with her daughter before putting her on the side when the novelty will fade or she gets pregnant with her AP. Well, his ex immediately moving in with her AP sounds like a great idea. It'll make weekends with her daughter even better. Upside down face. So her husband, who was trying to actively engage with her after the pregnancy, was not good enough to make her feel attractive and wanted like her affair partner? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Is the want to have other people's attention outside of your partner that necessary to people? I hope he's getting child support. She's pretty much neglected her child since birth and will only see her on weekends. Something tells me that split custody will be sole custody for Oop in a few months. How is she moving the daughter in with this affair man she only knows from having sex and meeting in restaurants? That's not going to go well and sucks for the child. Oh, here is your weekend daddy. Yeesh. I don't love that one commenter who suggests that the wife becoming an icy, inconsiderate could be because she's defining herself as asexual. I will never understand why people waste literal years of their life in an unhappy marriage, being as difficult as possible when their partner tries to make it better. What an asshole. I did not get married with the intention of getting divorced. Well, I'd hope not. Asexual does not mean you don't like non-sexual forms of intimacy. Hell, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't enjoy sex. Depending on the person. Just putting that out there. 4 years. Shoulda went for full custody emo. Plus I think cheating is the worst, and if you cheat you should be barred from any and all marital assets. If the ex-wife is moving in with the new BF, then the "no overnight guests" clause isn't going to do anything since he won't be a guest. About daughter having to spend time with the ex's new man and possibly putting a "no overnight guests" clause in the divorce. At least for a while. How would this work when she's moving into her AP home? He's not allowed to stay in his own home 2 nights a week? Why does this makes me sad for Op? Everything he wanted from her she was giving to her AP. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need therapy. But claims she didn't feel attractive anymore. She dismissed his feelings. Betrayed and lied to him. Cheaters are just horrible people. I hope she also gets cheated on. What a horrible person, lol.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AITAH is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.